French explorer Jules Dumont d'Urville looks at Oceania in 1832. He uses some imagination of an empire. He divides it into 3 pieces and projects fantasies onto some regions, inventing differences between peoples, ranking islands by size, and sorts humans by skin tone. He creates Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. These categories are not real. French Polynesia only exists if you accept the fabrication. Now there is subtle differences among us, but this is Oceania. This is one water, with one people. As Tongan Fijian anthropologist Apeli Hau'ofa teaches, the ocean is our continent. We are the people of the water. We have the oldest shipping routes crossing through Moananuiākea. This is our ancestral highway. Drawing a map showing Australia out of bounds from your little fake people bubbles does not mean that you've removed the largest island in Moananuiākea from us, as if we didn't know the Aborigines killed and stolen from were our cousins. Early Dutch explorers report seeing large twin-hulled vessels. These are deep-sea wakaulua that are retrofitted into ocean-going barges, capable of transporting people and massive amounts of cargo across the open Pacific. The standard Oceanic ship is between 60 and 100 feet long. So Westerners reclassify all Pacific vessels under one belittling term: canoes. In 1769, the great Captain Cook triumphantly sails into Tahiti on a ship so big the savages call it a floating island. HMS Endeavour is recorded at 106 feet long. Do you see the lie? Outsiders entering our ocean continent without understanding needed every Pacific vessel to be reduced to a canoe. That way, later generations would believe in a dominance that never existed. With the single word, canoe, they attempted to trap us on those islands, severing the arms of Fe'e Nui, tearing us away from our maritime nationhood, one island at a time. They spun a story of scattered mini-tribes, needing foreign rescue, a false narrative written by people who continually forsake their financiers. The captain has a hard time keeping a crew, as many would abandon ship, finding they had few transferable skills into their new societies. There is symbols of navigation etched into the Oceanic mind. Those navigational symbols are carved into stone. Fe'e Nui, the great octopus, stretches her 8 arms across Moananuiākea, revealing signs engraved into rock. The cross is a solar symbol, marking the 4 lands and the 4 waters. It's a diagram of the mountain of life, and from above, it becomes the marae, the heiau. This is where equinoxes and solstices are followed. In the sun's shadow, the X, this is called amaru by our continental cousins, and it carries the same meaning. When the symbol of the 4 waters is stacked on top of the symbol of the 4 lands, together they form the 8-pointed star, a stylized octopus, the symbol of wisdom and navigation. At the center, the head. This is where the knowledge of God is. This is the place where the Kanaka sits, on top of the mountain of life, responsible for all the physical existence beneath the sun. The priest king who held the sign Amaru was a Khan. His people who followed the sign Amaru were the Kas. The continent was named after our continental cousins, the Amaru Kas, who followed their leader, the Amaru Khan. If the continent were truly named after a European Amerigo Vespucci, it would be called Vespucci Land. Do you see the lie? Tupaia, a holy man of immense mana, recognizes our symbol on a red flag flying from a strange new ship. He becomes Cook's navigator, the translator and negotiator, guiding the Endeavour safely through oceanic ports because the flag bears our sign, the 8-pointed star of navigation and wisdom. The captain was a great cartographer. Tupaia knew the way. Tupaia drew the foreigners a map. He kept Cook's party alive, negotiated passage through to Fe'e Nui, procuring the food necessary for survival. On Cook's second voyage, his new navigator Omai continues the sacred work, and accompanies the captain to England. Here, he's examined like a specimen of nature, while corrective action is taken to discipline the crew for insubordination. Those who attempted desertion are flogged. They bear witness to the brilliance of Tupaia and Omai, the mastery of natural science, geography, and ancestral memory. Europeans coined the condescending phrase noble savages because they cannot comprehend a wisdom older than their empires. Now, armed with Tupaia's map and the knowledge extracted through Omai, Cook behaved like a perfect imperial capitalist. He abandoned his navigator in the Society Islands without compensation and sails on. Cook understands the seasons. He documented solstice traditions in Tahiti and Tonga. He and his men were in awe at every marae where 3 pau cast shadows, tracking the equinoxes and solstices, demonstrating a level of astronomical knowledge far beyond the captain sent to track Venus. When Cook travels the northern leg of Fe'e Nui and arrives in the Kauaian kingdom, he knew it was the season of Lono, the time of harvest, peace, and abundance. His ship appears to carry the image of the Akua Loa, which is paraded clockwise in ceremony. Coincidentally, Cook circles Kauai clockwise, searching for a place to berth his ship. There was much excitement at his arrival. Some say he was mistaken for Lono, but his empty hands told another story. He brought no abundance, no offerings, no signs of power. He and his men consumed generously offered food without reciprocity, revealing weakness born of want. They carry no ha, no breath of life, no spiritual language in body or speech. Our ancestors called them ha-ole, without breath, or different breath of life. This is the true origin of the word haole today. Worst of all is the state these newcomers show up in. They're sick, weak, hungry. They smell foul from lack of bathing. All of this is noted long before the Kauai people cast the netted gourd to test Cook's claims of godhood. We do not call the white man God today, and we did not call him God yesterday. When Cook and his crew eventually return a year later, again in the time of peace, they found they're no longer welcome. They insulted the Kanaka with false divinity, and again took far more than they offered. Cook escaped just in time, but a storm on the open ocean breaks his mast, forcing him to turn back to Hawaii for repairs. He was killed by a primary civilization. He was killed for his insolence. The time of peace had not ended, but Cook attempted to take the sovereignty of a king right in front of his people. Balance was swiftly restored. The so-called great navigator is ritually cooked. He's dismembered, and bones are taken by warrior chiefs for the mana within. A priest would deliver a package containing the rest of him to HMS Resolution. Lieutenant George Vancouver will bury his captain at sea. Cook didn't discover savagery. He brought it with him. He and his barbarism are thrown back into the ocean. It'll be nourishment to feed our protector, and we must now protect it. Te Fe'e Nui.